Hi everyone, I'm JD, welcome back to my channel. So I'm finally here with the February challenge journal prompt. Before I get into that and the heart behind it and all of that story and meaning, I'll just share a few checklist points here of things I need to cover. I'll share a January challenge update and just a few other details of logistics. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I will link below the intro video to this challenge, where basically every month there is a journaling challenge with a different prompt and a different prize, giveaway prize. And it's basically just sharing my heart about journaling and how I just see it as such a great tool, such a useful and helpful thing to do in your life. And hopefully this inspires and encourages people to journal and share their journal entries and create, and take some time to reflect and write, and just, yes, hopefully it's really helpful. And I'll link that below that intro video, and I'll also link below the January challenge, because what I'm going to say for this little update for January is it's still going to be open until the 24th of February, because that's when I get back to Bowen. So that's when I can draw the winner and announce who wins that journal prize. So I'm not too sure what the prize will be for February yet, because I am in Melbourne at the moment. But I think it might be some sort of journal kit or mystery pack, that kind of thing. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll definitely show you that when I get back there. And what else was I going to say? If you entered through Instagram and you don't have Facebook or anything, if you would want to email me a photo of your entry, your page spread, then that way I can upload it to the Willowbound Journals group page. I set that up and it seems to be working well, because everyone can post their entries and everyone can see them, and it's been really cool seeing the interactions of people, from different countries sharing their journal entries, and we're all getting inspired by how people put the page together and the words. Some of them are really powerful words that people have chosen, and some have shared the stories behind them, and I find all of them have just been so encouraging. I've been quite blown away by all of the entries. And if you want to still do that challenge, you've got time, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And this February challenge, I'll link below that Willowbound Journals group page too, in case you want to see the journal entries, and if you want to enter yourself and put your own entry up there. So basically, story time. Before I get into the heart behind the February prompt, I'll just share this story which kind of leads into it. So when I was a kid, I think it happened maybe 2 or 3 times, so not very often, but enough for this to make a huge impact on me. So every now and then my dad would leave a packet, this same little packet of Ovaltinis at the end of my bed, either for when I woke up in the morning or when I got home from school, because he was a postie, so he would leave before I even woke up, and he wouldn't be there when I got home either. So it was just really nice to have this kind of little touch from him. And it just really spoke to me, I suppose, because gifts is my love language. And so a little symbol like this, it just spoke to me of love, and how he was thinking of me, and put this down at the end of my bed for me to find. And it's just such a small, simple little gesture that can mean so much, and a true symbol of love. And so I never got these any other time, and that's why whenever I see Ovaltinis, I automatically think of Dad putting them at the end of my bed, and that feeling of love and everything. So I haven't seen these in a long time. They're hard to get. You can't get them everywhere. But when I was at Safeway in Melbourne, while I'm down here, I found them and I was like, I'm going to get those, even if it's just so I can put the packaging in my journal, so I can journal about this special memory in my special Daphne's Diary journal. And luckily though, I did open a packet and eat some, and I still like them. They taste like a hot Milo kind of, or a hot chocolate, and I find them drinking those drinks quite comforting. So as soon as I put this in my mouth, I just felt that comforting feeling instantly. And when you pair that with the story and the meaning behind it and that feeling of love, it's just like, oh, it all kind of works together. So that's kind of a little lead into now this prompt and why I chose Love Yourself, because this can be kind of airy-fairy. It can sound kind of like life coachy and you want to just roll your eyes at it. And I used to be one of those people. But then when I went through my depression and anxiety journey in 2015, 2016, I just saw the importance of this and how vital it was for my own kind of survival and my own well-being and everything. So there's this whole, as I was working on this prompt, I was thinking, taking some time to think about this deeply and reflect about this word. And I guess because I was hoping to put this video up yesterday, which was actually Valentine's Day. And throughout my life, we've never really done anything for Valentine's Day. I usually forget when it is and don't even pay attention to that kind of thing. But this year, my sister-in-law and brother were going to a wedding on Valentine's Day. So that's how I was like, oh, is it Valentine's Day? And then it got me thinking about this connection to the word love, and got me reflecting on all of that. And I was just thinking about how, we don't need to look to people or things, possessions or circumstances or life around us to give us love. And then that got me thinking about how, life can be, like, we can't control life, we can't control people, we can't control how things are. And how am I going to put this? Like, we can't actually control how people will treat us. And sometimes life does get crazy and messy and hard, and we can't control those things. But one thing we can control is how we treat ourselves, no matter how messy life is or whatever life is going up or down, and no matter how people treat us, if they treat us well, if they don't treat us well. The one thing we can control is how we treat ourselves in any situation. And I think this is a powerful tool to learn then, is to make sure you always treat yourself well. And I'll share my journal entry later on when I do it. And I've got my little entry already planned and everything, and I'll share the story behind that and go into more detail later on. But basically, you take this as to what you think it means, or wherever when you're reflecting and spending that time just thinking about your journal page spread, maybe some ideas, I'll just throw them out there. Like this story, maybe you'll write a story about a time when you felt really loved. Or maybe you'll journal about things that you love to do. And because I feel like one of the best ways to, I suppose, love yourself and take care of yourself is to spend that time doing something you love. So maybe write a list of the things you love in life, or the things that you love doing. Maybe write a list of the things you love about yourself. Maybe just anything you love. Or you might write something about a list of ways to take care of yourself, to look after yourself, a self-care list. Or you might focus on one thing that you can do this year or in this season or this month that you can do to focus on just caring for yourself. And I don't know if you need it, like whatever, if life is going well, maybe this isn't as relevant, but I think it's relevant in all seasons. But especially if you're going through a rough time or someone's treating you badly or whatever it is, I don't know, to have that tool in your own self, I suppose, to know what you can do at any given time to look after yourself. And one of those things for me is journaling, I suppose, and creating as well. So you could take this anywhere, really. But for me, just to give you an example, when I journal my entry for this, I will be focusing on one thing that I can do to love myself, to look after myself, no matter what's going on around me. And yeah, like I said, I'll share the story behind that and why it means so much. And it's just something that's come back to me a little bit and is essential for my well-being, I suppose, because I feel like we can tear ourselves to shreds a lot. We can be our own enemy. We can be the one who isn't loving ourselves. We can be the one who is judging ourselves or tearing ourselves down, with that self-talk and those negative thoughts or whatever. But if we can just get a handle of making sure that we treat ourselves well with the thoughts we have about ourselves, with the words we have about ourselves, with the actions we do for ourselves. I think that's going to hold us in good stead no matter what. So that's the prompt. Take it where you will. Take that time to really think about it, process, and the more you do that, I find the more helpful you're going to get. Like if you just surface level do something, that's great too, but the deeper you can really think about it and take it to heart, then it affects not just like, oh, I created a nice journal page, but actually this is going to affect my life. This is going to affect my behavior. This is going to affect my well-being. You know what I mean? So for me, journaling isn't necessarily just about making a page pretty or writing something down. It's about taking that time to reflect and how does this affect my life. Anyway, so to enter, basically you can show your journal entry with on YouTube if you have a YouTube channel. On Facebook, you can share it to the Willowbound Journals group page. So like I said, that link will be below, and you can share it to that page for an entry. You can also share it on your personal page or in any groups you're part of, like the Junk Journal groups. You can share it on Instagram, and you can also do a VR. Now, VR, I believe, stands for video response, and that's basically where you would spread the word about this challenge and say something like, I'm going to be doing this challenge, and when I have finished it, I'll share the spread. If anyone else would like to be part of the challenge, here's what it's about, here are the entry details, and here's a link to the video in case you're interested in being part of it. And you can also do a VR or do the same thing like on Facebook or Instagram, just sharing about the challenge, I suppose, because basically my heart is for as many people as possible who think this would be helpful to be part of the challenge, I suppose. And to then, as many people who can hear about the challenge and think, oh yeah, that might be helpful, just to give them that opportunity, and then to see each other's entries. Even if you're not going to do the challenge, that's fine. If you just want to see the entries and you just like being inspired by them, then that's fine too. But if you don't know about it, how will you know? So help me spread the word. And then, you'll get an entry for each of these for sharing on all these different ways, and go into the draw. And it will just be a prize every month, and I'll choose, everyone will get assigned a number for each entry. So someone might have 5 entries or something. So you'll have lots of numbers assigned to you. So okay. Closing date for this one will be the end of February, and then hopefully that will mean the 1st of March I'll have the March prompt up, and that will give everyone a good month from then on to complete each challenge. And maybe for some of you who are really quick and are waiting for the next prompt, I may have 4 prompts each month, and each prompt that you complete, you'll get an entry as well. So that's for the really keen avid journalers, because I kind of want to reward, I suppose, the ones who really love journaling, because that's what this challenge is all about, is journaling. So the more we can journal together, that's what my heart is about. Let's just journal. All right, I think that's all I need to share. If I forgot anything, it will be in the description box below. Feel free to ask any questions to clarify anything or whatever. And feel free to enter the February challenge now. You don't have to wait till the January one's closed or anything. You can enter your January prompt and your February prompt now. And if you want to do 1 page or 2 pages or 3 or 4, go with it wherever you want to go with it, with your entry. So I look forward to seeing what you come up with and hearing the story behind it. Do share your story behind it if you feel comfortable, because I think the story is really what people connect with most, and that's what's going to help people the most. So awesome. That's all, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.